In this video, I want to discuss the prime factorization of a number, how to find the prime factorization of a number, and also how to input this correctly onto Lumen. So this is a question out of the homework, 280. So let's give the prime factorization of 280, and then we'll go over to Lumen and type this in correctly. So with the prime factorization, first we find any factorization. Doesn't have to use prime numbers. So I'm going to say 280. Well, that ends in 0, so that's definitely 10 times something. In this case, it's 10 times 28. So let's start with that. So I'll say 28 times 10. Both of those numbers are composite, meaning they can be broken down further with another factorization. 28 is 4 times 7. 4 times 7 is 28. And I always circle the prime numbers, so you know you're stopping there. 7 is prime. 10, we could break that down as 2 times 5. 2 is a prime number. Also, 5 is a prime number. And we've got this other 4 over here on the left. We could break that down. 4 is 2 times 2, and again 2 is a prime number, so I'll circle both of those 2's. Okay, so we've got 3 2's, a 7, and a 5. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 7. You don't have to, but I normally write in order from smallest to largest. So we've got 3 2's, so let's write that in exponential form. So that will be 2 to the third power times 5 times 7. So that's our answer. That is the prime factorization of 280. So let's take that over to Lumen and type that in. 2 to the third power times 5 times 7. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is we're not using an X for multiplication, so you definitely can't use the X key. If you see here in the directions, it says use exponents for repeated factors. So 2 times 2 times 2, we'll use an exponent, 2 to the third power. Be sure to use the star between different factors. So we're using the star for multiplication. And that's above the 8 key, the number 8. So you do Shift 8 for the star. So there's 2 ways of putting an exponent in. So as soon as you click on the box where you're going to type in your answer, you see this X with a little box for the exponent. So if I want to type 2 to the third power, I could type the number 2 and then hit this X with a blank exponent. And now you'll see the cursor is now up here as an exponent. So 2 to the third power. All right, so that's how I do it. You could also use the exponent key on the keyboard, which is above the number 6, the caret. So you could type in 2. Let me see if I can bring up my keyboard. Oh, it doesn't show caret. So the keyboard above the 6 key, you'll see the caret. So you could hold Shift 6, and that will do the same thing. It'll bring the cursor up as an exponent. So that's 2 to the third power. Now I want to get that cursor back down, away from, off of the exponent. So you could hit just the arrow, the right arrow, and that'll bring it back down. Now for multiplication, like I said, it's the star above the number 8. So Shift 8. So you should see a little dot. So we're going to use dot for multiplication, not X. Generally, we don't use an X for multiplication in math because we use X for a variable in algebra. So we don't want to use X for 2 different things. Okay, so we add 2 to the power of 3. And let me just remind everyone, if you see the little thumbnail down there, 2 to the third power times 5 times 7. So I'll do times 5. There's no exponent there, so Shift 8, multiply again, times 7. Once you have the answer in, hit enter, and yep, looks good. As soon as you answer one question, you know if it's right or wrong. So that is the correct way to enter exponents and multiplication into Lumen. Again, it's the dot which to get that dot there, it's the shift and then the number 8. Do not use the letter X on the keyboard for multiplication. All right, that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful.